welcome back to Soaring Soul. In today's reading, I'm going to use a couple of different decks. I will be using the Tea Leaf Fortune cards by Ray Hepburn. This is a new deck to me, so I'm still getting to know the energies, but really fun and I like it a lot. I will also use the Psychic Tarot by John Holland and my deck that you'll have seen from me already, which is the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. So let's get started. I will start with tea leaves. Let's pull some of these. These are really difficult to shuffle, so I am just going to spread. It's so satisfying the way they spread. I'm just going to spread and then take a few that I feel called to. That one. I will then pull some of my oracle cards. Thank you for revealing to us what we need to know today. Thank you for bringing forward important messages that those listening need to hear. I feel this one and this one. We may come back and pull some more if we need a little bit more clarity. And then the Psychic Tarot deck. Ooh, he definitely wants to come. Okay, I'm feeling this one. I'm going to leave it there for now with that deck. Okay, so I felt like this was a significant card when I pulled it. So let's see. That's really interesting. So what a positive start to the reading that the card that we pull is happiness. Let's see what it means in the context of the rest of the reading. So we have older woman, dealings or relationship with an older woman, apple, temptation will test you, seahorse, family matters, January, how interesting, given that's the month that we're in. So that would suggest to me that anything that comes up in the reading today is quite current, that we're not looking far down the line. Someone new is entering your life, and let's see now, put these in. Mule, someone extremely stubborn or unwilling to change. Okay. Immediately, I don't feel like, although they've come out beside each other, I don't feel like this somebody new entering your life is the stubborn one and is unwilling to change. I feel like it's this older lady. This feels to me like where this mule wants to sit, this kind of stubborn energy, and someone that's unwilling to change. And I definitely feel like that's because it is a very close relationship, and it's a relationship that you can't just cut from your life. I mean, arguably any relationship we could cut from our life if we really wanted to, but I don't feel like that's what you want to do. But it definitely feels like that energy is linked to this card. But we'll come back and see what the rest means. And indeed, family matters. Probably somebody that you're related to. Okay, let's see then what the Psychic Tarot cards have to say. Emotional loss, rest and rejuvenate, recognition and reward. Let's see how I can fit these in. And then our oracle cards. And again, with the oracle cards, with all cards really, I often just work with what the imagery brings out as opposed to the words on the card. But we'll see. We'll see what I'm drawn to. So immediately I was drawn here to Star Mother. And whilst the words say, how do you mother yourself? I feel like this is a mother energy. So this is a mother, a grandmother, or a female in your life who has felt like a mother to you. Be it auntie, be it close friend, whatever it is. But that's definitely what's coming up here. And your reliance on that person is important. But actually, if they are someone who is in whatever the situation it is that's presenting itself for you, if this person is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change, again, I was drawn to the words here, how can you mother yourself? So in this scenario, turn it around and think of, approach it from the, if I was the mother in this situation, or the mother energy, whatever the relationship is, how would I approach it? And accept, nothing less. Or that'll give you the answer as to, are you right in this situation or not? How does it feel in your gut? So approach it, the situation from, if I was the mother, what would I do here? And what do I deserve? Does that sit right with me? You know, because sometimes even though this person is stubborn and unwilling to change, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're wrong in every scenario. So turn it around, put yourself in their shoes, put yourself in the mothering position and think, okay, how would I approach this if I was the mother here in this scenario? And you might find that actually you wouldn't do much different. So there's definitely something going on here, some situation at the moment that needs a little bit of healing. And I think that is the way forward for you to approach it in understanding, in trying to find a way forth. There's possibly a bit of an impasse here and you looking at it from a different perspective, because this person in all likelihood won't, because of this stubborn and unwillingness to change energy. And by virtue of the fact that they're older, I think sometimes the older we get, the harder we find it to change our approach to things. So that power is within you. You can look at the situation from a different angle and say, okay, do I need to change my approach here? I'm not saying you do, but it's definitely a question worth asking yourself. I'm immediately drawn to this emotional loss card, and I feel like you've suffered an emotional loss, but I don't think it was necessarily a death. I feel like something hasn't worked out the way that you wanted it to. And you were really emotionally attached to this situation. Whatever this was, you were really emotionally attached to it. It was something that you really, really, really wanted to retain or to work out in a particular way. But there's definitely something that was very important to you and it hasn't worked out in the way in which you wanted it to. It could be a relationship with somebody. I also, for some of you, bearing in mind this is a collective reading, so I'll often get two slightly different messages, and that's perfect for whoever it is that's listening. For some of you, this is a job. I feel that quite strongly. For some of you, this was a job. This was something, a job that you thought you really wanted, or that you really wanted for somebody else, and it hasn't come to pass for whatever reason. And that caused you great anxiety. But, and again, I say it often, things don't happen for you, they happen to you. That's a choice that you make to look at things from that aspect, but it tends to be quite a healthy way to look at things. It hasn't worked out for a reason. It wasn't the right path for you, or indeed if this was for somebody close to you, it wasn't the right path. It absolutely was not. Now is the time to rest and rejuvenate and take some time to reevaluate what it is you actually want. However this would have affected you. What is it you actually want? Or this hasn't worked out and you might still think that's what you want. It has passed. So now's the time to reevaluate. And with this reward and recognition, I definitely feel like this not happening is going to result in something better, or this relationship for the few of you, I think most of you, this is actually related to a job or something that you do. But for some of you, this is a relationship, and reward and recognition, or recognition and reward, whatever hasn't worked out for you here actually is going to work out better in the long run. Something better is coming. And then I was immediately drawn to this, somebody new is entering your life. My eye immediately landed there. And so either this new role, or this, if this was a relationship that you lost, that's going to be, and not necessarily a romantic relationship, but that gap will be filled by somebody new entering your life. And indeed, if this is in terms of what it is that you wanted to do, which I felt like it was for most of you, somebody new will come in and open up an avenue to you that you hadn't seen before. And that will lead to somebody's going to show you a different perspective. Someone's going to bring forth or trigger within you an idea that you didn't have before. And that's going to lead to much, much better things than you thought this situation was going to bring for you. Yeah, I feel that strongly. Temptation will test you. Again, it's lying here next to this card. So I believe that you will be tempted to either go back to whatever this was that's gone, or to try and draw it back to you, be it a person or be it a situation, a job, a role, whatever it was. I think there will be an opportunity to revisit it. And that's where the temptation comes in. You will do your reflection, your rejuvenating, you'll move forward, and then something will come back to tease you back in that direction. And so it's entirely up to you. I do believe from this reading that what lies ahead away from this is actually much better for you, but that's a decision only you can make. But you will be tempted back. And some of you may very well decide to go back, but I do believe better things lie from moving forward, from whatever this was, releasing it completely and allowing it to go. And you can only do that by this period here. And this very much feels like the here and now, by this period here of just reflection and really, really, really looking at it critically. Again, from another perspective, like we said here, this situation with this older woman, again, from another perspective, look at it from another perspective very critically and think, was it actually right for me? Or did I just think it was right for me? Was it just something that I, for some reason, became really, really emotionally attached to and felt like I needed in my life? But actually, when I look at it in the cold, hard light of day and from a perspective, if I try and detach the emotion from it, actually, you know, it wasn't the best for me, and there quite possibly was something better moving forward. And that's what I see here. If I move down now, I'm just feeling into the Oracle deck. So this one definitely doesn't feel to me like it fits with this scenario. Okay, this was definitely for here. If I look at these three and how they're connected to each other, so again, I'm feeling these linked to this situation. It's just given us a little bit more clarity. This situation, this being it the relationship or be it the role, job, something that you did with your time, something that you thought you wanted, actually had you suppressing a part of yourself. I feel that strongly. There was a part of you that I used the word already, kept suppressed to fit into this, to fit into your role here. The light inside you just wasn't properly able to shine in this scenario, in this situation. You were hiding. I say suppress is a better word, because I don't think you were intentionally hiding necessarily. You hadn't given it too much thought, but by virtue of whatever this situation was for you, you were suppressing parts of yourself, the true parts of yourself, actually, because I'm seeing this as light, and we're made of light. So this was a very fundamental and true part of you. Forget about what's expected of you, forget about what you think you should do. This was something much more fundamental than that. Part of your soul was being suppressed in this situation, very much so. And we look at the rest and rejuvenate here, and this person is, I think they're meditating, but they're very grounded, very grounded. I see this in this card. Actually, this period of reflection and grounding will allow you to elevate your perspective, elevate how you feel, lift your vibration. I think actually there's going to be some revelations if you do take some time to do this critically and deeply. Really reflect on this situation, and I think you'll actually feel better and lighter as a result of this not working out, even before you get to the stage here where you get this reward and recognition. And then moving on to this card, again, I see you floating above the earth here, kind of soaring. I often use that word. I suppose it's in the name. But whatever this is, it also, you're just being elevated, you're leveling up, your vibration is changing. You move forward, don't let the temptation pull you back here. You keep moving forward and you are leveling up. Again, if you believe in vibrations, but I'm not sure if it's a thing to believe in, but everything has its own vibration. And our vibration changes depending on a lot of things. And you are leveling up. You continue on this path, you are leveling up. And I think you will reach heights that you never knew you could. I think, you know, the key indicator card for this reading was happiness. And I think that's where all of this is leading you. Definitely. It's all leading you here. This path, this felt like oh no, it hasn't worked out. The world's ending. But actually you are leveling. So there's a serious leveling up happening as a result of it, if you're not tempted back. But it did say temptation will test you. It doesn't say that you're going to go backwards. And again, this all feels very now. But actually now I'm saying that, and I'm being guided to say it this time next year. By this time next year, if you remember this reading, you probably forget, I always forget readings, but by this time next year, a lot of this is happening and on the way to you, and you won't recognize where you are. You won't believe how far you've come in the space of a year, but this is the period that you're in now. And really take the time to do that. Give yourself the time to do that. Allow yourself the time to do that. Great things are coming. Great things are coming. I absolutely feel that. I'm taking a moment to tune in and see if I'm drawn to anything else. We haven't touched on the family matters. Well, we have, I suppose. This I definitely feel like is a mother type energy. And this, I feel like for some of you, was the path for a family member not working out, and not necessarily, of course it impacts you personally, but that's where I feel everything is kind of family related. Anything else? No, I just get a good, I think this situation with this older woman is, I don't want to say trivial, it's not trivial in the grand scheme of things. it's trivial, and I think it's something, again, that can be resolved. Maybe you just taking a step back and looking at it from that perspective. And even if you don't change your course, you'll still have a deeper understanding of perhaps why that person is approaching things the way they're approaching them. Yeah, and then this emotional loss. This was bigger. This was bigger. This was something quite significant. Either, again, a significant situation in your life or a significant relationship. This was definitely a bigger issue. But like I said, it's leading to greater things, to ultimately a place of greater happiness than where you've been and where you are now. You're in a little bit of a period of change now by this time next year. Obviously there's somebody new coming in, either if that was a relationship we replaced, or somebody that will show you the path, show you a direction. But there's definitely somebody coming in, and by this time next year, everything is going to look so much different for you, but definitely different for the better. I feel that really strongly. A little bit of slog along the way, a little bit of work to do, but I definitely feel a lightness after that work is done. And I do think it's going to happen through the course of this year. This, either somebody entering or this revelation of something different that you want to do, this feels like late summer, early autumn. So you might still be feeling this loss for a few months, not months, but definitely for some time yet. You'll feel better after the critical reevaluation, looking back. But you'll be feeling this for a while yet. You're in this period, and this feels like it's coming towards the, Q3 of the year time. Yeah, late Q3, early Q4. Yeah, that time. That's what it feels like. So this has been your reading. I hope it has resonated. If it has, and you want to share anything, please do let me know in the comments. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye.